Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen. If you're new here, I am Amy from Neurotic Mom Bakes. And today we are making my Tres Leches cake. Tres Leches translates into 3 milks, and it's a very rich, moist cake, and it's a traditional Mexican recipe. So we're gonna start with the cake base. And you're gonna start with a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. Just make sure it's room temperature. And we're going to add 1 cup of sugar to that. I'm gonna mix that up. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna get my eggs out. You're going to need 5. Okay, once you've got that cream together nicely, add the eggs 1 at a time or 2. Lots of recipes call for this sponge cake to separate the eggs and whip the whites and fold them in, but I have found it works just fine adding the eggs whole. And it's just easier. This is an easier sponge to make. Okay, we've got the eggs in there. And then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I love the Mexican vanilla for this. I find these big bottles on Amazon for like $20, and it's so good. We're almost done. See how easy that was? In here I have 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to gradually add that in. Okay, when it's almost done, give it a good scrape. And then mix it just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now I have a 9 by 13 dish, and I'm going to spray it generously with cooking spray. And we're going to pour this in the pan. Okay, then spread it around, and this is going to go in a 350-degree oven for about 25 to 35 minutes. And you'll know it's done. It's just like a regular cake. When you touch the middle, it'll spring back lightly. You can do the toothpick test, and then it'll pull away from the sides just a little bit, and then you'll know it's done. Okay, next step in the Tres Leches cake is to get your 3 milks mixed all together. I'm going to start with 2 cups of whole milk. And then I have a 14-ounce can of the sweetened condensed milk. And then a 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. Okay, I'm just gonna whisk this together. I've actually poured all 3 milks in separately, and it worked just fine. But if you just wanna do one big pour, mix this all together. I would recommend doing it in something with a spout. Easier to pour over the cake. Okay, set that aside. All right, here's my cake. You want to make sure it's cool before you do this. And I'm going to get a fork, and I'm just going to do rows of I'm just gonna poke holes, lots and lots of holes in rows down the cake, all the way to the bottom. I know it sounds crazy. How is all this milk going to go in all this cake? But it does fit, it absorbs. So we're just gonna start pouring this over gradually, slowly. I had never made tres leches cake. I mean, I've heard of it, but my stepdad, so my mom got remarried just a couple of years ago, and for his birthday, my mom said that tres leches was his favorite cake. So I thought, okay, I better learn how to make it. And now I know why it's his favorite. It's absolutely delicious. Okay, it's okay if it pools around the edges. That's all right. It eventually will all soak in. Now, put this in your fridge and let it chill completely an hour or two. And I'm actually gonna get a spoon and I'll kind of lift the milk up on top of the cake. Don't worry, this all soaks in as it chills. Okay, we are ready to finish up and put the final touches on our tres leches cake. And as you can see, all that milk was absorbed and my cake is chilled. And I'm going to make some whipping cream to spread on the top. So pour some heavy whipping cream into your mixer. You can use a hand mixer or your stand mixer with the whisk attachment. And just let that start going. Okay, at this phase, you're going to add a little bit of sugar. Keep in mind that this cake is very sweet, so I like my whipped cream less sweet. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. And then I'm gonna check the taste. That's actually spot on, I think. I added maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of sugar. Just a little bit more. All right, let's check it. You don't wanna over whipped cream, because it will separate and turn into butter, so I think that's good. Okay. Now, just spread this over the cake. Just depending on what you like, you can garnish this a couple different ways. I prefer the fresh berries, but it's also really good with cinnamon. It's kind of like a horchata drink. So you can either do cinnamon or berries. I'm gonna do a little of both. If you're gonna do cinnamon, just lightly sprinkle over the top. Do like a third of it with cinnamon. Perfect. Now for the berries, if you don't want them to bleed into the whipped cream, make sure they are 100% dry. And then for the strawberries, either put them on whole or put the back side down. Don't put the cut side. And just, you can make a pretty little pattern. With raspberry, blueberry, whatever you like. Blueberries. This is actually better the next day. You can just store it in the fridge for up to 3 or 4 days, or you can just serve it right away. I'm gonna chill mine for just a little bit. Oh, forgot a blueberry. If you know, you know. Okay, there you have it, my friends. We cut into that tres leches so you can see the cake. It's absorbed all the milk, but it's really soft and really moist and really delicious. So I hope you'll give this a try at home. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you want to see more recipes and content like this, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Delicious.